Hello, everybody. I'm Nick, and welcome to my stream. Also, streaming on the Afternoon Tune. I have a very special guest with me, Brandon.
Brandon in the house.
All right, we have a great stream for you today. We're doing my usual thing of talking about all the newest episodes of television. We've got new Euphoria. We've got new Maul Shadow Lord. We've got new Daredevil Born Again. We got new The Boys. And, of course, we have the season 4 finale of... Yes, I finally figured out how to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, we have the season 4 finale of Invincible, one of my favorite shows on television. We're gonna bring you all of the the breakdowns of it, what we thought about it. We also have some fantastic trailers that if you watched our most anticipated stream on the Afternoon Tune a while back, basically 3 for 3 of my most anticipated all had trailers come out this week. So we're going to be live reacting to them. But Brandon, tell the people about yourself.
Hey, I'm Brandon here. You mostly find me on the Tune or the Pineapple whenever they got me on. Otherwise, I'm on the Letterbox at Brando Not Marlin. And yeah, I'm just super excited about all this TV this week and the trailers. Like you said, a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic stuff. I've been, waiting with bated breath ever since I saw it. I kind of messed up. I even did I went to go see Lee Cronin's The Mummy again just to make sure that my review of it was, that I wasn't just, high on opening night hype, that I meant what I said. And yeah, more or less I think the movie's just fine. But I mostly did it just so I could rewatch that Evil Dead Burn trailer. Little did I know, all I needed to do was wait a couple days.
I know, dude, because I was so bummed I had missed it in theaters.
Yeah,
so I'm so happy it's out.
That was a big surprise because with me, I'm like, I go to so many movies. I mostly see all of the trailers. I've seen every trailer at least like 8 times by the time the movie comes out. So when I go to the theater, I usually just keep my AirPods in. I just am just on my phone up until the the movie actually starts. But this time there was like this very cool one shot. It was like, wait, what is this movie? And I had to pull out my earbuds. It was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I see the title card. It was like, oh,
just immediate hype through the roof. Such a good tease.
Speaking of, we just got the trailer for Evil Dead Burn. Let's react to it. We're gonna react to it live on stream for y'all. Stupid Wi-Fi. Yeah, so Evil Dead Burn is going to be the newest Evil Dead film that's going to be directed by Sebastian Vanacek.
Yeah.
What do you know about? Here we go. Like, at this point, I'm like, run, bitch, run!
Get up, go.
It's like, I get it that you're, I'll be fair. I mean, I'll be fair. I say this all the time because my sister is like one of those people, like in horror movies. It's like, why don't they just do this? Fight or flight mode goes on. Your brain doesn't think.
Yeah,
you don't think.
And seeing people get thrown around like that.
But Yeah, I'll pause the trailer just, so we don't get any, copyright stuff, but what did you think about the teaser that we've gotten for it?
I'm all in. I love a short teaser like this that is just usually like a scene or something just straight out of the movie without any context, especially when it's like a horror movie. So yeah, I was already
Mhm.
all in with Evil Dead Burn. So like this being the first look at it, like with the creepy old house and Deadites doing what Deadites do, throwing people around and being creepy. I'm all in. Like I'm a big Evil Dead fan, so I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, so all we've got from the premise of this movie is a woman seeks comfort at her in-laws in their remote house when she loses her husband in a car accident. However, after the discovery of an ancient book, the family reunion becomes a hellish nightmare. So this is
Mhm.
the second feature film by director Sebastian Vanacek. That was his last film was a 2023 film called Infested. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. It's a movie that I'm very curious to check out based off what I'm seeing in this trailer. But the is something that I think is a very incredible thing that Sam Raimi is at this point in his career where he essentially made The Evil Dead as like a independent film straight out of
Mhm.
college. And of course, that spawned a legacy of one of I think the most consistent horror franchises.
Yeah.
And now he's like turning over the reins. He's letting these like young up and coming directors take their crack at it. Like we got Fede Alvarez's remake in or reboot in 2013. We got Evil Dead Rise, which was Lee Cronin's film, which that was also I think
Yeah.
either second or third feature film. And now
Mhm.
we got Sebastian Vanacek, and we also have Evil Dead Wrath, which is going to come out the following year in 2027.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm loving all these smaller directors, especially Francis and Sebastian. Sebastian's Infested movie. I'm usually not a big fan of bug or spider horror, but like his like really just totally nailed that type of movie. Like I know you haven't seen it yet, but I
Mm.
think anybody who hasn't seen Infested should check it out before Evil Dead Wrath or Burn, just to see like his kind of style of horror and just how gross and claustrophobic he like can get. He totally nails it. So gives me confidence for this movie. Hold on, I can't hear you.
My
Yeah,
mic is very fucking sensitive. It has like a
oh,
I
there we
don't know
go.
if you can see it. It has like the mute button on the side of it, and
Ah, I
I'll
got you.
brush up against it accidentally a lot. And sorry about that, but
No, you're
But,
good.
as I was saying, I feel like more movies could learn that lesson from the Evil Dead Burn trailer of just
Mhm.
give us, like, a little taste of your filmmaking. Give us a little taste of what that is about, of what
Exactly.
kind of movie we're in for.
Mhm. I think that's like more effective than like the trailers that are showing you
Mhm,
like so much of it and like give you too much of the
mhm.
context of what's going on.
Now, granted, it's an Evil Dead movie, so we're
Yeah.
expecting, blood, guts. I don't know how much of that you can put in a trailer
Mhm,
that you can
mhm.
release to the general public.
Yeah, we'll probably get like a Red Band trailer in a couple months that like
Oh,
shows
oh.
really shows what this movie
Yeah,
is.
there was a lot of news coming out of from CinemaCon about like a lot of more blood and gore, but
Mhm.
based off this teaser, this I think this was like very high on my anticipated list. I
Yeah.
can't wait in theaters July 10th. But moving on to the next teaser, we have the movie that uh Acme doesn't want you to see. We have,
Big Acme.
the movie that was famously shelved for its tax write-off, went the same way as Batgirl, but thankfully, a year ago, we got the news that Ketchup Entertainment, the studio
Yeah.
behind Looney Tunes: The Day the Earth Blew Up, they saved the film. They're putting it out in theaters, and based off this first look, we're getting like a new like kind of a revival of the Looney Tunes, getting that mix of live action and animation that people love from Space Jam and from Looney Tunes Back in Action, which I think to
Yeah,
this day is a very underrated film. That's an underrated
agreed.
movie for me.
Back in Action is so underrated. Better than Space Jam in every way, and just yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
Damn, what the hell? My screen does just not. My YouTube just does not want to play today.
They said no trailers. You don't get to watch trailers.
We don't get to see it. Oh, hold up. Now we're getting it. Oh, up. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. No clips today. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, people. All right, but yeah, the Looney Tunes, Coyote is suing Acme, it looks like, and we get Will Forte, who is playing his attorney, Lana
Yeah.
Condor, who's playing one of the paralegals, and John Cena is one of the lawyers defending Acme, which that has
Yeah.
kind of been like a running joke in the Looney Tunes since the founding days, and I can't wait to see what they play with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like seeing like the live action and Looney World interject again, like you say, like in Back in Action is like very fun. But like it reminds me of Chip and Dale, like putting these characters in like a more of like a legal drama or like a crime drama on top of all their cartoony antics. Is like I just think it's really perfect to me, especially putting Wile E. Coyote at the center of it. Like
Mhm.
instead of focusing on like the big dog Bugs Bunny and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I like giving our other Looney Tunes a chance to shine.
And of course, we do get a little tease of Bugs Bunny at the very end of the trailer, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to play that big of a part. I mean, he's a character that is like the Looney Tune. He's like one of the first people, the first cartoons that people think about. But I think there's a big enough roster of the Looney Tunes that you can have a movie without him being the focus. And we're
Agreed.
getting more of the shine of Wile E. Coyote, which I wonder how they're going to play this because famously he's a character that doesn't talk.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the sign holding up, like saying what he's thinking or what he wants to say. So yeah, it seems like he'll be a fun straight man to play off of Will Forte's lawyer character if they're going to be teaming up most of the movie.
Right. Yeah, that's one that's very high on my anticipated list.
Mhm.
This was story by James, screenplay by Sammy Birch, who wrote May December
Yeah,
in
that's wild.
2023 and was nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And the story is by James Gunn, Jeremy Slater, and also Sammy Birch, who
Mhm.
that is a great writing staff. I can't wait to see what they do with this. This is high on my
Mhm.
anticipated. This is coming out in August.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Very excited.
August 28th in theaters. Definitely definitely checking that out. That is
Mhm.
very much that's day 1. And speaking of for another one of my day ones and also James Gunn because this is the newest DC film that we can't talk about without bringing up James Gunn. I know that that dastardly guy who makes and writes good stuff.
How dare he?
I know, how dare he? But yeah, newest horror film in the DC universe.
Mhm.
Uh, yep, written by Mike Flanagan, famously
Yeah,
from The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass,
yeah,
Life of Chuck that just came out last year, and directed by James Watkins, who is this is only his third feature film, but I feel like he is coming into his own as one of the standout guys to watch, especially with Eden Lake, which is a horror film he did in the 2000s with Michael Fassbender and Kelly Riley, and also the Speak No Evil remake, which is
yeah.
a movie that has no right to be as good as it is.
Agreed. When I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is actually entertaining. I'm actually having a good time."
Yeah, it's different enough from the Dutch version of that film, which in and of itself is mostly in English because that's like the common language between the families. but it's different
Mhm.
enough that it adds a new dynamic to it, and that, it changes the ending of that film to something a little more
Mm.
Hollywood. But
Yeah,
it's fun nevertheless.
agreed, agreed. Especially with James McAvoy's performance in that.
Oh, he is chewing up all of the scenery.
All of it.
All right, and yeah, damn. Yep, and what we're getting in this trailer, this is, just Matt Hagen, who is gonna be the protagonist, who's played by Tom Reese. Harry's in this. We have Naomi Aki, who's going to play a role in this.
Mhm.
And, it's him in the hospital. It's clearly after he's, suffered some sort of accident. We see like his face melting, getting some of that great creature feature horror imagery
Yeah,
with him. I'm getting a lot of the Substance vibes. I'm getting a lot of,
big time.
a lot of, Hollow Man a little bit in this. And from what we've been told about this, this is loosely based off of the Batman the Animated Series episode "Feet of Clay," which is,
Mhm.
recontextualizes his origin story. And I think also they mentioned loosely that this is adapting the Clayface One Bad Day comic that was written by
Mhm.
Tom Taylor, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Both really good places, I think, for to do a
Mhm.
Clayface, because I think those episodes, those animated series episodes, are probably some of the best of the series,
Mhm.
story wise and animation wise. Just how they make Clayface look, the tragedy of it all, and
Mhm.
just how it involves like Batman's detective prowess of it all as well. And I haven't read the One Bad Day, but I know you said it's like really
Mhm.
good, right?
Yeah, it's a great one shot. I think it's on Comixology Unlimited if you have that service. That's been, game changer for me. But
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to this. I think something that I am happy with the direction James Gunn is taking this DCU, that he is at this point where he knows that you cannot repeat the formula of Marvel.
Yeah.
You can't repeat. So instead of doing that, he's going for, director focused, story focused, weird films. Because when they
Mhm.
first announced the slate of DC films back in 2023, Clayface was nowhere near that. But,
No.
Mike Flanagan, he came to Gunn with a pitch, and, we're getting a Clayface movie, which I
Mhm.
think is going to be fascinating, especially because we still haven't heard any news about Batman in this universe yet. I'm curious to see how much of a role he's going to play in this story, if at all.
Yeah, same. Especially like this being our first look at this DC's version of Gotham as well, like
Mhm.
through a villain's eyes, through one of Batman's
Mhm.
most, popular rogues. Seeing it through his eyes, I think is definitely an interesting way to start off this Gotham, especially differentiating it from Matt Reeves' version
Mhm.
of Gotham.
Yeah, this is one I'm very much looking forward to. I
Mhm.
really loved both of James Watkins' directorial, directorial efforts, and I really love Mike Flanagan as a writer. And the screenplay is written by him and co-written by Hossein Amidi, who is a is a screenwriter who was nominated in 1997 for a Best Adapted Screenplay for Wings of the Dove. And he's also, excuse me, he's also, oh, ew. Okay, a little bit of a resume here. So he's wrote on Obi-Wan Kenobi, 4 episodes
Okay.
of that. Wrote on The Snowman,
Oh, yeah.
Michael
Okay.
Fassbender film. Oh, and wrote Snow White and the Hunts. Oh, he wrote Drive as well.
Okay, yeah, that's a win. That's a
Okay.
big win.
All right. So Drive is a win. That's more of a, character focused kind of a complex protagonist. So I feel like that's a good fit for a character like Clayface.
Agreed. Agreed.
And hopefully Mike Flanagan, does his touch. So I wonder how much of the dialogue is all going to be monologue.
I hope it's a line. I hope you see a lot of characters just talking to each other.
Yeah, and Tom Reese Harris, who's playing Matt Hagen, Clayface in this, he's an actor anyway. So I wonder how much of that is going to play into his turn in this film.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with him. Like I don't remember in a lot of movies seeing him. So curious how
Mhm.
he handles a lead role like this.
Yeah, he's a Welsh actor. He's been in
Okay.
episodes of Doctor Who. He's been in a film called Kandahar that came out in 23 with Gerard Butler, and he's mostly been on British TV. He was on that Michaela Cole show Chewing Gum,
Oh yeah.
BBC
Okay.
adaptation of Jekyll and Hyde, and also in the Ncuti Gatwa run of Doctor Who.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So he's been around.
Mhm. Yeah, so he's been around for a bit, and this is going to be his one of his like major breakout roles. Which, when you're building a universe, go with the guys that wouldn't be our first choice for some of these
Yeah.
characters.
Agreed. Some up and coming,
Mhm.
some new faces are always going to be good when you're still fresh in a universe like this.
Yeah, that's you know, just to go off on a little tangent is like seeing all the fan casts for the DCU Batman and seeing who should direct Brave and the Bold. I feel like whoever does get cast, it shouldn't be the first person that comes to mind.
Hmm. Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
like
Get
even
in
when
with
even when Matt Reeves was rebooting Batman, he was like Robert Pattinson. He was like a choice that was like, okay, that's kind of off the wall, and I fuck with it.
it. Big time, big time. One of those choices that makes you curious, more curious
Mhm,
than being like, "Oh, okay, this is safe. This is
mhm,
kind of what I expected," or boring even.
mhm. Yeah, and speaking of the Batman, we got the news on Twitter of Sebastian Stan in an interview, basically confirming that he is filming the Batman Part 2 this summer. And one of the rumors is that he's playing Harvey Dent in the film. What are
Mhm.
your thoughts on that?
I mean, I said it in the chat before, but I love Sebastian Stan.
Mhm,
I enjoy what he's done with the Winter Soldier and the MCU, but like stuff like the Different Man or Fresh have really shown that like sometimes the MCU is holding Stan back. Like he's such an interesting kind of actor that isn't afraid to get like weird or go like all out. So I think like pairing him with the director like Matt Reeves, especially after what we've seen with the
mhm,
Batman, I think that's
mhm.
kind of like a perfect fit. Like whether he's playing Harvey Dent or not, like I'm just interested to see what he does with that kind of direction, with that kind of writing.
Mhm. Yeah, my one worry with the Batman Part 2 is that I don't want a repeat of The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That would be like my one worry because so much of that film was about not just the Joker but also corrupting Harvey Dent, and I
Mhm.
worry that we're gonna just repeat that story.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Mhm,
I hope we see more of just Harvey Dent as Harvey Dent, him and
mhm,
Bruce's kind of relationship if they go for that in like in the comics and kind of being old friends.
mhm.
Uh seeing more of that and seeing kind of the outside corruption before Harvey gets corrupted himself. I think would be the way to go with this. Let Harvey stay one face for now and then maybe tease a two face later on.
Yep. Yeah, that's our topic. All of the trailers, they look great. I'm very excited. But moving on to TV talk, we got the newest episode of Euphoria, and we get some of Maddie's backstory and the reveal that she did the appeal to the boomer is like, I'm not going to be an HR nightmare. I believe in capitalism, and also the
Uh,
reveal that as a side hustle, Maddie became an OnlyFans manager.
yep.
But of course, keeping with Sam Levinson's, kind of creep factor of he can't write a woman unless they're involved in some tangential way with sex work.
Yeah. Just waiting for him to find a way to make Lexi attached to that and somehow. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting follow up episode after the premiere. A little bit more Maddie focused,
Mhm,
seeing how she transitioned after high school, not going to college, and kind of doing the fantasy way of what boomers think is easy for Gen Z to get a job. Just go up and ask the person for the job while they're eating, and they'll give you the job. Uh, that's how it works for
yeah.
Maddie, and she like ends up being a good old, big old Hollywood assistant.
And there is some, interesting ground that is covered in this episode and in that opening montage, like kind of prejudice that Hollywood does have against
Mhm.
people in sex work, because she sets up the actor that is on one of the soap operas with this girl that she's managing, and she gets chewed out for it.
Yep, yep. They're like, we don't want. We're not selling sex here. We can't have our main star hooking up with a porn star.
Mhm.
And of
Yeah,
course, Maddie's like, no, this is the
the
world
norm.
now.
Yeah,
People,
the norms are changing. Shit, not
exactly.
that much.
Exactly. It's kind of the thing we're seeing a
Mhm.
lot with internet people transitioning into kind of trying to be more mainstream Hollywood.
Mhm.
And Maddie's
Yeah,
trying to get on in on that.
yeah, and it's a subplot that I think could work. It's covering some interesting ground if it were written by anybody other than Sam
Yeah,
Levinson.
exactly. If it was written by somebody else, then it was like that the whole show. But this is just like a bit of the episode.
Yeah, and more of we get to see Rue start to manage this strip club that
Mhm.
is owned by Alamo. We see like her acclimating to that environment. We get to see a relationship build between her and one of the strippers there, who's played by Priscilla Delgado.
Mhm.
That is probably the standout performance of this episode. Seeing like her
Agreed.
breakdown throughout is because Delgado's character Angel, she was friends with Tish, the girl who overdosed in the premiere episode.
Yeah, yeah. And so Rue kind of feels guilty, but at the same time is giving into the business of it all. Like
Mhm,
she's trying to avoid any kind of connection, but her and Angel do connect
mhm,
very early on, physically, of course,
mhm.
because Rue wastes no time.
Wait,
But yeah,
which is
we get to see
which
it.
is kind of weird because I always got the vibe from the first two seasons that the character was, possibly ace or
Yeah,
asexual.
same. Yeah,
But shit,
or
I
at the
guess,
very least, not the one to go pursuing the other.
mhm. Yeah,
But no,
she was never
Rue's
the one like chasing, except
no,
for Jules in the first season. But even that was, portrayed as, very unhealthy.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, her and Angel definitely connect quicker. Um, and it doesn't complicate things as you would think.
Mhm,
Like Rue is pretty straight up with her when Angel starts kind of reaches like a boiling point. Like she's tired of
mhm.
not getting answers where Tish is at.
Yeah, and she confesses that Tish is dead, and that sends Angel on a downward spiral. And
Mhm.
Alamo pretty much says that okay, she can go to rehab or she can get kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
And it is like the sketchiest rehab I've ever seen
Oh
in
my
my life. And I am saying this as somebody who has been to rehab.
yeah, man. That's horror movie rehab. Like nobody else is in the
It's
halls.
like lights are flickering, there's like
Yeah.
no paperwork. The
This is
receptionist
true.
is like on her phone with dirty ass nails, and
Yeah.
immediately as Rue's pulling out, there's an ambulance that comes up, is like, yeah, that girl dead.
That girl is getting her organs harvested probably. And Rue doesn't really she hesitates for like a bit when she's leaving, but afterwards
Mhm,
she's just seems more content with just leaving her there. She said she'll be back, but
mhm.
I don't think we're seeing
And
Angel again.
yeah, and some of it I kind of I'm interested in this storyline. This is probably as much crap as I give Sam Levinson for how
Mm,
much of a hack he is. I feel like with Rue, those are always given the best storylines in
agreed,
Euphoria.
for sure.
And this is kind of like her like rude awakening of this life that she has chosen.
Yeah, she's in it now. She's deep.
Mhm,
Like we see some time pass, and she's like fully acclimated to like the stripper club manager lifestyle, managing the girls and like talking to Alamo and his person in charge over there. So yeah, I'm curious how this goes. Like Rue's whole thing in the first episode is like, yeah,
mhm,
God brought us together. Alamo, this is a good thing. This is a miracle. So
mhm,
as things get worse, I'm curious how she'll rationalize it or continue to
mhm.
rationalize it.
Yep. And the other storyline this episode is Maddie and Cassie reuniting after 5 years apart. Uh,
Mhm.
we see like Cassie arrives to this club. Maddie's already parked. She's just waiting for her to arrive to show up in a full mink coat in the middle of Los Angeles.
Right? It looks like it was like summertime. Like she looks hot as hell. She's wearing this big ass coat.
I
But
mean,
yes.
credit where it's due. She got that shit on.
Oh no, she does. Maddie, that's one thing. Her styling is always on point. And she makes it a point to make her seem better and bigger than Cassie is. But both of them are kind of in this area where they're like kind of like putting on a front for the other.
Yeah, both of them are putting on a front for the other. It's very clear that Cassie is just trying to use Maddie to build connections for her like wannabe internet fame.
Mhm.
And I don't know what it is with Sam Levinson. I just feel gross every time
Yeah,
this storyline comes in because uh Cassie, Sydney Sweeney, she's starting in OF, which it's just gratuitous. It's
yeah,
it's like weird. There's like have scenes of her like holding like a melting ice cream cone. She's like jumping rope. She's like dressed as an adult baby, which she
yeah.
shows off at a party with one of the other housewives, which you know
Why do you think that was a good idea?
sex work is work. If you choose to do that with your time, more power to you,
For sure.
but I ain't gonna brag about it. I mean, Batman
Oh my
couldn't get that
gosh.
shit out of me.
No. And the housewife immediately is like, okay, yeah, sure. And then
What
goes
the
to her husband and is like, that's
Of
weird as
course.
fuck.
Yeah, of
Like
course
without a
goes to her
second.
husband because it's the fucking suburbs. What else is there to talk
What
about?
else are you gonna do? We're gossiping.
Yeah,
Uh
and it's always the feeling like Nate is like less mad about that than he was over anything that happened in the first two seasons. I don't know
yeah,
what where Levinson went when writing the character of Nate because it feels like a completely different person.
it does, dude.
It's
Like
like
especially in that scene with when she like reveals or like the neighbors reveal that the picture she's been taking, he seems calmer than he ever
he
would
seems
be.
he seems so nonchalant about this versus like the
Yeah.
first two seasons where he like held Matt Eddie at gunpoint to get the sex tape of his dad and Jules back.
Yeah.
It was
And
like
like
that boy was a straight up psychopath in the first two
yeah,
seasons. Who who was his therapist?
for real, because he seems way more mellow. Even in the scene, we get the late Eric Dane back for
Mhm.
a scene, and like they're talking to each other, and just again, Nate just seems so just I don't even know how to describe it, just not
Yeah, this
himself. Like
yeah, this was a character who was having nightmares about his father and his
yeah,
sexuality. And we could unpack that all day. And here he's just like casually talking about it.
yeah, he's like, Dad, you're gay. He's like, oh, I'm not.
He's like,
Um,
no, I was a hedonist.
exactly. But yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing with the show so far. Just Nate feels like the most not himself compared to the rest of the characters.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with this episode. It's like it's an improvement over the premiere. Rue's
Just
storyline, I
barely.
think, is the oh, and the episode ends with Rue and Jules reuniting. Jules
Yeah.
is like living in this like very nice penthouse that her sugar daddy owns.
Yeah,
But
they're trying to get they like rekindle, but they both know that they were
rekindle.
toxic
We
for
know
each
this is
other.
toxic, but
Yeah.
you wanna?
They're like, you're here already, so might as well.
But yeah, that's where we're at. Next episode is going to be Nate and Cassie's wedding based on the previews,
Yeah.
and you know I couldn't care less about this storyline.
Yeah. Hey, at least we get the great Alana Ubach next episode returning as Cassie's mom. She's a fantastic actress if you watch the TED show.
Yeah, if you watch Ted, you watch Waiting. She is
Mm,
like the light of both of those.
yeah, she's the best.
All right,
But yeah,
but
I'm still watching Euphoria, I guess.
yeah, that's episode 302 of Euphoria. I'm intrigued more off of this episode than I was in the previous. But moving on to, some actual good television, we got the
Yeah,
newest
there you go.
episode of Maul Shadow Lord, episodes 5 and 6.
Mhm.
Inquisition starting off. We have, the introduction of the Empire on Janix, and we see the,
Yeah.
authoritarian, totalitarian shenanigans that they get up to. We see them take over all of the police on there. We see Lawson get put into an interrogation room,
hmm
and we see Docky and Devin. They start to go on the run.
Yeah, yeah. It's always my favorite kind of story and like something like this, just like seeing our main characters like constantly on the run.
Mhm,
Definitely kicks in more in the sixth episode, but that fifth episode laying the groundwork
mhm,
of just immediately once the Empire is on your planet, like shit's going bad. Like they are
mhm.
taking full control. Like you barely have any chance to catch your breath because they're here now.
Yeah, yeah. Once the Empire comes into play, you can basically just kiss any rights you had goodbye.
hmm Like
But
we see the what's his new name? The Empire guy. I think Blake comes into the police station and is
mhm.
basically like, "Yeah, I'm taking over, Chief. We're gonna interrogate you, and then we're never gonna see you again."
Yep, she gets disappeared,
Mhm,
and the seeing the stakes get raised, I think is a mark of great television, especially in this episode. We always joke about how the Empire, the stormtroopers, how kind of ineffectual they are in most other Star Wars media. This Bad Batch and Andor kind of being the
mhm.
exceptions. And this is like the first time in a long time that the Empire really feels threatening, even in video games uh Jedi Fallen Order, where we got the Inquisitors and that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Like Inquisitors have kind of unfortunately gotten bad names sometimes, just like jobbers, Sith jobbers,
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah, because
not really
yeah, they're a threat until they don't need to be, until the story
exactly.
calls for it. Like, Ahsoka dog walks two of them.
Yes,
Uh,
with
we get
ease.
Yeah, we get Marok, who we saw in Ahsoka as like a Night
Mhm,
Sister construct. Here, fully on in his prime as the one
mhm.
hunting Daki and Devin.
Yeah, I love what they did with his introduction, like interrogating Lawson, and then later on, kind of seeing him in detective mode, like
Mhm,
checking out like where the firefight was. Just in
mhm.
like these two episodes, he seems way more intimidating and more of a threat than we have seen him before. Like
Yeah,
very big
seeing
slasher vibes from him.
Yeah, seeing the him, like, go through the crime scene reminded me a lot of, like, the Force echoes
Yeah,
in Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
big time, big time.
Yeah, and, keep on, glazing the animation. It's, as good as it's ever looked, especially with, because in the opening, of episode 5, we get to see Maul start to, practice some legitimate martial arts forms.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
centering himself, and,
I
it's
know.
as
Love
smooth
that.
as it's ever looked.
Agreed. It just felt like they were showing off for a bit, and like I know, like in the past, Maul as a character, he's like they talked about how he like takes time to train with a lightsaber, and
Mhm.
Palpatine was like, "Man, lightsabers are cool, but they're not that cool." So seeing Maul continue to train and like kind of get into his Jedi bag a little bit,
Mhm.
meditating for a second was very interesting to see.
Yeah, we see characters, meditate. They use it as like a ritual to, center themselves, to,
Mhm.
think about their lives. And, this entire segment of Maul, like, practicing his forms, his eyes are closed. He's just,
Mhm.
feeling he's flowing. And that's something that you hear a lot when when you train in combat sports. You stop thinking, you're just moving.
Mhm. Exactly. He was in a flow state. Um, And I find it interesting that the rest of his team, Rook and some of the Mandos are like, Empire is here, Maul. We should probably, get out of here. And
It's
Maul is
like,
still like, nah,
hmm. Yeah,
Devin's.
we still don't have the full picture of what Maul's plan is for Devin at this point in the show. And I don't
Mhm,
think we're gonna get that until, like, the next, batch of episodes, especially with how 6 ends, where 6 is essentially a long chase sequence between the
yeah,
Empire, Jockey, and Devin, who, go to Lawson and his son to seek shelter, and of course, the Empire come a knocking.
Yep, immediately Maraka's there. I'm knocking down the door, and yeah, we're getting like like you said, just a nonstop chase scene for like episode 6.
Mhm.
Some very good fights. I gotta say, I'm very happy Master Daki is still kicking. I thought he would be dead by now when I saw like this show, because usual Jedi's that survive Order 66 don't stick around for too long when they pop up again. But I'm glad they're making him like an actual character, and his
Mhm.
kind of relationship with Lawson has been interesting.
Yeah, that's been one of the standouts of this batch of episodes, seeing the building dynamic between Lawson and Docky, as well as
Mhm.
Devin and the son who what's the
Mhm.
character's name? It's Riley.
Riley, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Riley. Seeing that budding dynamic and chemistry, that's been the highlight of these two episodes, as well as the final fight in episode 6, where Marok, he's got Devin and Riley cornered on this
Mhm.
speeding train, and Maul comes in to help.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good moment. Very
And
good fight scene.
one of my favorite like beats of this fight scene, Marok's got one of the Inquisitor sabers that has like the mechanical spinner thing. You
Mhm.
can just see the disdain on Maul's face. It was like, bitch.
Really? I invented this. I mastered the spinnies. I am the originator.
It's like, if you can't spin, your saber for real, then why bother?
Exactly. And
And
yeah, it's
the fight ends in kind of a stalemate. I get the
mhm.
sense that Marok is a lot stronger than what we've seen him in later in
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, because
But
he's fending off all of them throughout this episode.
mhm.
Daki, Devin, and Maul. So yeah, he's definitely got some juice.
And this is probably like the closest that Maul is gonna get to breaking through to Devin, because you got the sense
Mhm.
in the 4th episode that he is trying to turn her into his apprentice,
Yeah. And
and
like I think even
showing more and more the value that he presents as a mentor versus Daki.
for sure. Like he talks about how she never hasn't encountered like an Inquisitor yet, and so now she
Mhm,
has. So she has that moment now. Like but as well like Maul or no Rook saying to Maul earlier that she tried to kill him, and Maul being like, "Perfect, yeah, that makes her a perfect apprentice. She should have tried to kill me." And so I think he's definitely grooming her in a way that he thinks is effective, because he kind of like sidelined his main plan right now to in favor of her.
mhm. Yeah, but with Maul, he's like a character that's always kind of scheming, especially in his appearances in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Mhm.
I don't think we're gonna get a full picture of what his end game is
No.
until like maybe the penultimate episode, because we have this season is going to be 10 episodes. We're going to get 7 and 8 next week, and
Mhm.
the two-part finale the week after. So I don't think we're going to see what his end game is until then.
Yeah, especially since we like are confirmed there is a season 2.
Mhm.
Um, I'm glad that they're not gonna like quickly wrap up things or stuff like that, like or even like draw things out long. Like the Empire, we get to have them for like half of the season now, with
Mhm.
them appearing fully in episode 5.
Yeah,
Um,
they get to be a consistent threat throughout this back half of the season, which
yeah.
they should be.
Exactly. So I'm curious where it goes, especially with the characters introduced. How long we'll see their journeys and their arcs change. But yeah, good, more just good stuff with the show, man. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, this is kind of everybody was kind of hyping up the boys, Daredevil, Invincible, all airing at the same time, but Maul Shadow Lord is kind of the sleeper hit of this bunch.
Agreed, agreed. It's so consistent with the episodes, and I think the 2 episode factor definitely helps a lot.
Hmm.
But yeah, the way they're moving is just has me excited for each
Yeah, well,
week.
yeah, I'm a big fan of the weekly release model. I like getting stuff piecemeal, especially with this show having it,
Mhm.
30-minute episodes, dropping 2 a week.
Not
That
bad.
ain't none.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. But moving on to the next show, also the next Disney Plus show, we got episode which one is this? 7?
Yeah, I want to say this is 7.
Yeah, this is 7 of Daredevil Born Again. So Fisk is reeling from the death of Vanessa, you know, instantly just murders the shit out of the doctor who was trying to console him, which
Man.
I'm not one to victim blame, but my man,
Yeah.
you you had to have heard about Wilson Fisk's reputation. You know this
I
is a
think
guy who decapitated a man with a car door.
people got too comfortable with Mayor Fisk, man. They has the nerve to put his hand on his shoulder. Like, stop talking, stop, you
Bro,
dude. You're
it's like,
dead
I knew it
already.
was coming. I knew it was coming, but even I was still kind of like cringing. It was
Yeah,
like,
but
bruh, just quit while you're ahead.
you should stop talking. Take the hint, man. His wife literally just died.
Yeah, and he's doing like his job as a doctor. He's offering condolences,
Yeah.
but just say your piece and get out of the room.
No, exactly.
But yeah,
Leave.
we see Fisk at his most vulnerable, but
Hmm.
but with a character like him, that just makes him feel so much more dangerous because we
Yeah.
still don't know what his end game is at this point. And Fisk is, completely untethered. He's, I don't think he speaks a word of dialogue until like the last bit of this
Yeah.
episode.
I was gonna say he's very silent. He's mute most of the episode until he comes face to face with Matt again.
Yep. And speaking of Matt, we get the return. We get more of him treating Bullseye in Frank Castle's hideout, and
Mhm.
as expected, Karen is not happy.
Karen is so pissed, understandably so.
Yeah,
Uh,
because Karen's interactions with Bullseye are him murdering Father Lantom in
yeah,
season 3 of the show and
mhm.
murdering Foggy.
Yeah, and I love
Like
how they brought that back
two
up.
people that are close to both Matt and Karen, and
Mhm.
consistently Matt is choosing to spare both Fisk and Dex, which
Yeah,
Matt is gets called out on in this episode.
yeah, it reaches like a boiling point with Karen and Matt, where she's just like, you can't keep doing this. Like, you can't choose. There's no choosing when like Fisk is willing to do all this stuff, and you still won't kill him or Bullseye.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's reached a breaking point. Like, she nearly pulls the trigger on Dex herself in this episode.
If Matt didn't show up, Dex would be dead.
And of course,
Which
Dex being Dex is being like, yeah, do it.
yeah, you could. And I love Wilson Bethel's performance in this. He's just so captivating to watch,
Yeah,
and his like warped justification of it. It's like, yep, I traded Foggy's life for my freedom, and I'll
yep.
trade Vanessa's life too.
So do it. Yeah, might as well. Um, but yeah, it's really good work from Deborah Ann Wool. This episode is Karen. Like, I just love seeing like Matt's reaction to her and him being like she's changed, like she has, like she's been through a whole fucking lot without any kind of therapy for it. So she's reached a point where like she's willing to do the hard things that Matt isn't.
Yeah, we're getting to like the boiling point of the conflict between Matt and Karen in
Mhm.
this season, and it's so much fun to watch. But we also get the return of one of the defenders. We got our girl Jessica Jones back.
Yeah. Jessica Jones, good old Kristen Ritter is back, and I love the way they introduce her or reintroduce her with her
Yeah,
kid, her baby
yeah, with
child.
her with her kid Danielle Cage, who appears in the comics. It's her daughter with Luke,
Hmm.
and we get
Very
some.
cool.
Yeah, we got some quick background with her that her and Luke Cage are clearly a thing. They have a kid together, but she's also kind of like her powers are kind of going in and out, which I think is a
Yeah,
fun limiting thing because superpowered characters aren't as fun without limits because
yeah.
it also gives a explanation of why didn't he just call Jess immediately with all the when all this shit happened.
Right, yeah. But it comes to her front door. Like they come and attack her while her and the kid are home. She beats the crap out of them. Then she's fully in now. She like three teams up with Matt. And they go take down like where they set up the new guns in places in a very cool action scene.
Yeah, where they set up the guns that was supposed to go to Mr. Charles, which Charles
Yep.
goes to Red Hook and finds an empty warehouse, and he's
Yeah,
pissed.
he's very unhappy. So curious, whatever the fuck's going on with Matthew Lillard as Mr. Charles. Like they've
Yeah,
given us so little of him.
yeah, we're getting piecemeal stuff with him, and immediately he goes to the governor, who is not a fan of Wilson Fisk,
Yeah, yeah. After the
and offers
funeral,
to,
like,
yeah, I can
she's
take care
like,
of your city hall problem.
exactly. Like she's already talking to the assistant mayor lady, like talking like,
Mhm.
you ever consider running? Because I didn't sign up for Fisk sticking around too long. Vanessa was the one I was with.
Yep, and speaking of that, we also get Buck and Daniel. Daniel is still trying to figure out who the
Mhm.
who the leak is. So Buck offers a suggestion of doing leaking some fake intel to BB.
Yeah, yeah, and oh, poor BB. BB's playing her hand a little bit
Mhm.
too loud and proud because she's like, yeah, I'll go to your mom's with you for your birthday. Why not? And like
Ooh.
she's trying
Yeah,
very hard to get in good with him, but
yeah,
at this point, he knows.
yeah, and Daniel, he's a character that I'm fascinated by his turn this season
Mhm.
because he is clearly traumatized by the road trip he took with Buck last episode. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
also like a character that's in too deep.
way too deep. And like Buck even says it like in this episode where it's like, yeah, you're in it now. After our trip in the woods, there's no going back. Like you're gonna go up higher, but you can't get out of this game now.
Yeah, and he knows what Buck will do to BB, but Daniel likes BB. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to her, but he knows that she is the city without fear.
Yeah, man. And that moment when he discovers the SD card in her pocket and confronts her about it,
Yeah,
and like she tries to
yeah,
kiss
which
him, and he's like, oh,
which why would you carry that on you? Why would you not like
yeah,
leave that at your house?
in the same jacket like that you got it in. Come on, BB, come on. Mhm.
But yeah, that's a great note in the episode. I really love what Michael Gandolfini is bringing to that character. He's a
Same.
character that I've turned around completely on. But
Mhm.
the final act of this episode, we get a protest at City Hall. Every
Yeah.
conflict in the city is coming to the head, and Karen and Angela Del Toro, they play the testimonials of all the people that were, trapped by the AVTF, the Safer Streets
Mhm.
Act. And, that breaks out in, protest.
Yeah, it gets very tense, like literally on like this doorstep protesting him,
Mhm.
seeing like the videos on the building as well as a very cool visual. But yeah, this is after Karen and Matt with that. So like Karen's kind of going on her own, like without Matt's permission, with her white tiger protege
Mhm.
along with her. But yeah, things get heated very fast. The AVTF kill one of the dudes,
Yeah,
the guy who
kill.
leaked.
Yeah, the guy who like gave Matt and Karen the key card to Red Hook,
Yeah,
which
and just
I cannot wait for Powell to get his comeuppance because I shout
that
out to the
dude,
actor because he is so delightfully evil in this. I cannot wait for him to get his just desserts.
just detestable character. He's too good at playing this guy.
Yeah, and that is Officer Powell, who is played by uh oh damn, Wikipedia is not helpful today. I'll come back to it, but yep, we even see like a little bit of dissent from some of the other ranks. Like we get
Yep.
uh uh I can't remember the character's name, but he was the one who killed White Tiger in season 1. Even
Oh
he's like
yeah.
kind of like, "Hey, what the fuck, man?"
Yeah, yeah, Cole North. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like
Mhm,
the dude's just like, yeah, fucking vigilantes as he clearly shoots the guy in the head. And
mhm.
Cole's just like, dude, what? And so yeah, that just gives them more probable cause in their eyes to start pushing back against the protesters, and like you said, it's getting very intense.
Yep. Yep. All the conflicts are coming to a head. Matt Wilson, he goes to like his little secret hideout to like
Yeah,
look at the rabbit in a snowstorm that he kept from the original run of the show, and Matt
yeah,
offers him a deal. It's like we both know that our rivalry is going to burn this city down, this city that we
yeah,
both love. So the one thing that we can do is both of us leave.
yeah.
But
And Fisk
that
is
ain't
like,
gonna happen.
he's like, I don't want to do that, and you know, you don't want to do that, and so they start
So
fighting.
an epic fight breaks out between the two of them, which is the
Mhm.
first time they fought since the end of season 3 of the show. And
Yeah,
I just love the choreography in this, seeing how mobile Matt is, as how mobile Daredevil is in this show. Since
hmm,
they've gone a little more comic booky versus the groundedness on the Netflix show, and it's so much fun to watch. It's a great fight scene. You see the emotion and the tension between the characters, and it ends on like this very I think a recreation of one of the covers of Devil's Reign.
yeah, yeah. Very good, just comic booky panels during that fight. And like I said, like I love that they're leaning into more of the comic bookiness and just like kind of the abstract nature, like these poses these characters can do. So yeah, the fight's really good. Fist, brutal as hell. And like you said, Matt's agility, like perfect. Like especially when he pulls out the billy clubs and starts really going in, is like fantastic. Um, but yeah, it ends like again, like as it usually does, like not a real winner. Fisk is like, you won't kill me, and you can't arrest me. So what are you gonna do?
Yep, and Matt doesn't have an answer, and that leads into where this episode ends with Karen. She loses her wig in the chaos of the
Mhm.
protest, and Officer Powell holds her at gunpoint. So
Yeah.
she's in trouble, and that leads us into next episode.
We're getting close to the end, but I'm loving this season so much, and like just how each episode builds that tension,
Mhm.
builds the stakes in such good ways, and just loving what they're doing with all the characters. It's good stuff, man. Good Daredevil.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite shows airing right now, and has such a incredible turnaround from, I think, kind of like a so-so first season,
Yeah.
where this they've really found their stride with their writing, with their characters. I cannot wait for the final 2 episodes, which, you know,
Mhm.
from the words of Charlie Cox, are 2 of the best episodes that they've ever done with Daredevil.
Oh man, that's high praise.
Oof, very high
I'm
praise,
ready.
especially considering, how great the show has, the original run of the show is. But
Mm,
yeah, that's Daredevil Born Again episode 6.
mhm.
Yep, this is 6.
Good one.
But moving on to The Boys, the final season, episode 4. So we are going to Fort Harmony. We're getting
Yeah,
to get a little peek at the origins of Soldier Boy, where he was, experimented on with V1. We see some background, more the dynamic building between him and Homelander, which, yeah, they do not fuck with each other at all.
yeah, yeah. Very fun just seeing those two together without any of the cameras or any other characters around. Just
Yeah, just
them
see
being
how much
brutally
they
honest.
fucking hate each other.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Even
so
like
good.
even a little small note of like them realizing that they're not just father and son, they are Eskimo brothers.
Oh, that moment was so good. Yeah, just Soldier Boy being kind of speechless for one of the first moments, as usual. Just like, okay,
It's like he's a character
uh,
that he always has like some foul mouthed shit to say, and that shocked him.
yeah,
It's
he's
like
like, oh
that's kind
wow,
of
you
nice.
too. Um, but yeah, he seemed to actually have some kind of feeling, or at least some kind of connection with Liberty Bell slash Stormfront.
Yeah. And we got to see that. We see our boys. They go to Fort Harmony. There's like this undercurrent of something is wrong with this
Yes.
place. Like there's like some kind of lurking presence, and we see that V1 is kind of soaked into the groundwater. It's infected like all the plants, and there's some fungus that's affecting people's minds. Kind of like The Last of Us.
Yeah, they even name drop it in the episodes. Like, oh, so like The Last of Us? It's like, no, that's just Walking Dead with fungus. um,
But yeah, we get some of that, but this is like making everybody, angrier with each other. And some of the,
Yeah.
unspoken things between all of our characters, they start to, come out in vicious and very cruel ways, which I
Mhm.
I thought was very fun to watch, seeing like all
Yeah.
these characters at each other's throats, especially, Mother's Milk, Butcher, Huey, and Kamiko, which is kind of a funny note that the one character who's immune to all this is Frenchie because
Yeah.
of years of drug use.
Fried his brain all to hell. He's not affected by this at all. So he's the one to notice and to really try to rally the team together. Um, but yeah, this scene or this episode really reminded me of that moment in the first Avengers when they're
Mhm,
getting manipulated and they're just at each other's throats. And it's always fun to watch your heroes or your team fight each other when it's a comic book
mhm,
property. So yeah, this gave me like that kind of vibe, and also just like thrown back to season one when they weren't all on the same page and more like at each other's throats. Um, but yeah, very good stuff with them saying the quiet parts out loud.
mhm. Yep, we also get a peek of where Annie's gone during this
Mhm.
time, where she disappeared at the end of last episode. So she went to go visit her father, who's played by
Yeah,
fellow superhero alum Tim Daly.
yeah, I knew I recognized that voice. I was like,
Yeah,
that's Superman.
the voice of Superman. Or
um,
one of the voices of Superman. So, yeah, he left their mom long time
mhm,
ago, where and you know Annie started to believe, and her mom was starting to tell her that yeah, she's a gift from God. Him
mhm.
knowing that it's bullshit.
Yeah, he really just couldn't take it. Couldn't take what her mom was selling her at a young age,
Mhm.
and just decided to peace out.
Yeah, and he loves his kid and wants to do right by her, but couldn't keep lying to her.
Yeah.
And that's a very fascinating look. And we also get to get a peek of what living in a fascist regime like there are in the world of the boys is like, because uh Annie's dad is a cop, and he has like Homelander propaganda on his front yard, and it's like, no, they make us put that up in our yard. We
Yeah.
like question stuff where we get disappeared.
Yeah, and he even goes far to say that like whenever they're rounding up people for the camps, he like makes sure that he's not working that day. Like he tries
Mhm.
to his best not to round anybody up. And even later when one of the cops comes through the door, he's like, "Come on, man, rounding up our neighbors and doing that shit.
Mhm.
That's not what we're supposed to be doing."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, all it takes is for good men to do nothing.
exactly. But that scene, the whole Starlight visiting her family or her dad's scene reminded me of remember the scene in X-Men 2 when Iceman comes back
Yeah,
to visit his family?
yeah, that's
At first
exactly
this
Yeah, that's exactly the vibes I think they're going for in this,
yeah,
and it's some great dynamics, especially with the little moment where Annie is like trying to break through to her half brother, who is very
yeah,
clearly like deep into like the red pill content. He's got like Men's Lives Matters poster. He's
yeah.
listening to the Deeps podcast.
Oh man, the Deep podcast. Yeah, he's indoctrinated into all the Homelander Kool-Aid that they're feeding him.
And that's something that I really appreciate about this show. It reminds me a lot of season 2 where they had an episode open with just like a normal guy who was getting radicalized by
Yeah,
like Stormfront's content, and
exactly.
seeing like almost in real time how the algorithms like radicalize people.
Mhm. And like he's not too far gone. You can see like
Mhm.
he regrets making that call
Yeah,
to the police.
yeah, you get a sense that he made the call to the cops like before Annie almost got through to him.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and
And like
and that leads to like the like defining moment in Annie's arc, which is like yeah, don't abandon the people you love. They give you a reason to fight.
exactly. Her
And
dad definitely imparts some good wisdom.
she goes back to Huey, and that leads them to just reconcile. And it's like, yeah, this was probably a good day to be off.
Yeah, yeah, she missed a good day with everybody fighting each other. It's very good stuff.
But speaking of fighting, we also get Homelander and Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, he tags along on this trip because Sister Sage cleverly manipulates him and is like, "Yep, if anybody knows where the V1 is, you would." And
Yeah,
Homelander's going to be there, just
yeah,
sowing more
man.
dissent between the two of them.
Yeah,
Even
Soldier
to
Boy
the point where
very
Soldier
doesn't
Boy
want it.
locks into the point where Soldier Boy locks Homelander in like a cell with like uranium, which seems to weaken him. That I hope that comes up later.
I hope so too. I don't know how like easy it is to get uranium, but that was very effective on him. Even if like he still got out, like he was down for the count for a bit.
Yep, even like leading to a confrontation between him and Butcher,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which everybody is
Homelander,
everybody this season is just reading Homelander for filth, and
yeah,
I
man,
love it.
he deserves it. I mean, the guy tries to make himself God in this episode.
Which
He,
which I gotta ask Eric Kripke for the lottery numbers tomorrow because this was written back in 2024.
man,
And we just got, images of Trump depicting himself as Jesus. It was like,
jeez, man.
okay, I got to get lottery numbers from you, Eric
They
Kripke.
know these boys writers are on like the same stuff that the Simpsons writers are on with like predicting these things in pop culture. Yeah, it's crazy, and it works in the end. The boys, or not the boys, the bot management team comes up with some bullshit way to make it make sense that Homelander is God, and it works out in everybody's favor, especially David Dick's character, who just would have been perfect on Righteous Gemstones. He would this been so good.
Yeah, that's like a great note that this episode ends on. I can't wait to see how that plays out. But I think the MVP of the episode is Soldier Boy because we get
Yeah.
to see some of the layers peeled back on him. We see more of like all the characters kind of reading him for filth. Is like everybody knows that his like wartime backstory was bullshit. He was like
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
spoiled rich kid who conned his way into the V1 trials. And we
Mhm.
also get a little bit more backstory that Soldier Boy's brother Quinn, who we'll see later in this episode, he was a legitimate war hero.
Mhm.
He earned a Silver Star in World War II and was also a part of the trials, but that failed.
Yeah. It's the first time we see him like show some real emotion. Like he's crying by the end of it when he has to when he kills Quinn.
Yeah, I always get the sense that there's more to Soldier Boy besides the bravado. Granted,
Yeah.
he is a horrible human being.
Oh, big time.
He
Big
is
time.
awful, the worst, but he is at least in some ways more human than Homelander.
Yeah, most definitely. Like he may be selfish and very insecure, but I don't think he's on that level of egomaniac and sociopath as like Homelander is.
Mhm. Yeah, but that's a great episode. I really dug the more of the dynamics. I got the sense that other subplots. So Ryan, he like disappears at the very beginning of the episode, just kind of
Mhm.
licking his wounds after the beating that Homelander gave him, and
Yeah.
we get the sense that Kimiko and Frenchie's relationship is not long for this world.
No.
That's
Yeah.
that's sad to see, but I kind of liked it better when they were platonic friends versus romantic.
Same, yeah. And like she's by the end of the episode, Kimiko's like, I don't want to change you. And like,
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, they see they're a little fractured. And I think like that goes for like the whole boys, like with MM kind of giving in to Butcher's more radicalness and just like kind of suicide mission of it all.
Mhm.
And Huey calling them both out on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested to see the just the effects of this episode. Like since, like you said, like everybody's kind of was at each other's throats saying things that's been
Mhm.
kept to themselves. So seeing how they kind of reconcile or at least move forward with the mission after
Mhm.
this will be interesting.
Yep, and based on the previews, next episode we're getting to see Jared Padalecki's Marathon Man
Yeah.
appear in this show. I can't
Oh
wait
yeah.
for that. Can't wait for the Supernatural reunion. I wonder how we're gonna get more of the new Democratic Church of America.
Oh man, yeah. Just whatever the hell. happens there with Homelander and Daveed Diggs is gonna be some good
Yep,
stuff.
all the breadcrumbs getting laid for that. I can't wait. The boys, I wasn't as big a fan of season 4 of the show. I felt like it was the weakest. It was kind of
Hmm.
just laying groundwork for the final season, but I've been digging this so far.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like season four definitely kind of felt like the in between just to get to
Mhm.
this point. But what they've been delivering so far with these first few episodes, and character wise especially, just reminds me why I love the show so much.
Yeah, the boys, I can't wait I really hope this show sticks the landing because definitely am looking forward to rewatching this completely when it's done, seeing the
Yeah,
progression of all of our characters, especially Huey, who I feel like has gone
hmm,
through the biggest change throughout the run of the show. And,
most definitely.
I'm excited. I'm really loving this show, but that was the boys final season, the newest episode, but moving on, we have I think my personal favorite run show in this run of episodes. It just had its
Mhm.
final episode of the season, and that is
That
yeah.
was
Yep, Invincible, it just, aired its final episode of the season, laying off from last week. We got the horrifying realization of Mark realizing that the Viltrumites that are left, they are coming to Earth, and the
yeah.
episode opens on this stunning sequence of the, Viltrumites arriving to Earth, causing havoc, murdering
Mhm.
civilians, causing tidal waves, and for as much flack as the show gets about its animation, this is where the budget went.
Yeah, yeah, these last two episodes especially, they know what
Mhm.
to spend the big bucks on, and like you said, that opening natural disaster and just seeing the Viltrumites tear through Earth was horrifying.
Yeah, it's something that I don't think ever gets really old on the show, and it's
Mhm,
such an effective cold open
mhm.
on this episode. But you know, especially for non-comic readers, because we learned that that opening montage is a fake out. It's just Mark imagining the worst case scenario.
Mhm. I mean, and that's the kind of the theme of the episode. Mark is going through it. He's
Mhm.
got some PTSD after the war, understandably so. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
throughout the episode, man.
not just the war, but everything that he's experienced in like
Mhm.
the last few seasons. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, the show only takes place over the period of like maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like it's been a short amount of time comparatively.
Yeah, so in that time, it like his finds out his father was a conquering despot, got the shit beat out of him by him. Nearly killed a man, went to war with like 16 other versions of himself, fought
Yep, yep.
conquest, went to war, and my man is going through it. And
Yeah.
and something that is so effective in seeing all of the various visions of Mark having of various characters that he loves being killed by Thrag and by Anissa. It is, horrifying to see. It's very effective, tension building, because throughout this episode, we don't know where the Viltrumites are, which makes them so
Mhm.
much more of a, terrifying presence.
Yeah, like comparatively to them just coming to Earth and immediately fucking up shit, like them going into hiding makes them so much
Mhm.
more terrifying. And like you said, like seeing those glimpses, those marked visions of seeing the people he loves get like brutally murdered, like are some effective ass jump scares. Like the one with Eve especially got me in the moment because like
Mhm.
they're having this heart to heart moment of what she went through, and then it's just boom, Thrag is there. And I think like they just totally nailed it with like the sound and like the visuals this episode.
Yeah, this is something that because you and I have both read the comic. This
Yeah.
plays out, fairly differently comparatively, because all of the, fake out, the jump scares, the visions Mark has of what the Viltrumites could do to Earth, all of that takes place over like 3 panels on the same page.
Mm,
But here, spacing it out, it is doing such a good job of building tension. And,
yeah.
through that, we also have some of the other loose threads this season of, Nolan reuniting with Cecil.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite bits of the episode, seeing those two meet face to face again after season one. Like it's been that long.
Yeah, seeing that, Cecil, for as many Nick Fury parallels as he gets, you got the sense that he genuinely liked Nolan. He considered
Yeah,
him a friend, as well as seeing how Cecil cares about Mark, and that betrayal of Nolan, it cuts so much deeper.
yeah. Like when Nolan apologizes, Cecil says something like, "It's not enough, but it's something."
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, now okay, now do it 2,341 more
Exactly.
times.
Yeah, he's not gonna let Nolan get off, and I think that's like the biggest thing with the show comparative to the comics. Like they're really letting Nolan work for it. Like everybody that Nolan's interacted with, from Debbie to Cecil, Mark, even Oliver, like they're all really giving him a hard time to earn his redemption.
Yeah, it's something that I was really struck by, especially in this season, because
Mhm.
comparatively in the comics, Nolan's redemption arc only happens mostly off page. It's like
Mhm.
very quick, pretty much instantly. Debbie forgives him, and at this point in the comic, which I'm glad
Yeah.
that they are keeping the animosity between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, once again, shout out to Sandra Oh, but love her scene with Nolan this episode, and her telling him that she's going to space with him. Just her still
Mhm,
being such a strong-willed character,
mhm.
but not giving him any kind of leeway or any kind of forgiveness in that moment. Like still holding him up to the standard.
Mhm. Yeah, it's something that I was really struck by in this because Debbie and Nolan are still not okay.
Yeah,
Debbie just kind of wants to ignore and push him to the side. And something that I felt like a little concerned by is Nolan kind of speeds around her and says, "No, stop treating me like I'm a stranger. You believe
yeah,
in rehabilitation," which I think I think it is a bit concerning, but Nolan, I based off what we have seen, we know that his heart is somewhat in the right place. He is still
yeah,
learning how to make amends, and that is one of the threads I'm curious where they go with next season.
yeah, yeah. Because he's not totally wrong. Like there is like
Huh.
you see in that moment there is some hesitation from Debbie when he does that. Like she's scared, but like at the same time
Yeah,
she kind of knows
rightfully.
right. Like they've known each other for forever. They were married. They have a kid together. Um, so like her still standing her ground in that moment is I think still makes it interesting to see where their relationship goes in the next season and how
Yeah,
they
yeah,
connect.
and Debbie broke up with Paul during the events of the Viltrumite War, which I was sad to see because I really liked Paul as a character. I
Man,
really liked
Paul's just so nice.
Paul was a G.
So good. Like even in this episode, he's like, "Yeah, you should go to space. That's what you do. That's
Yeah,
what
it's like
you're
you're just as much a part of this space of the cosmic stuff as, Mark and Nolan are.
exactly." It's so cool for her to get that kind of pep talk from him, and like that they're still friends.
Yeah.
Um, so shout out to Paul, MVP. Who knows if we'll see him again? But Paul was the
Yep,
best.
Paul single-handedly kept the Viltrumites in line.
Exactly. If Paul wasn't there, dude, who knows what would happen?
But, yeah, moving on to, the final bit of this episode, we see, Mark debrief I think one of the more, controversial storylines from the comics
Yeah.
is, like, during the Viltrumite War, we saw in, episode 5 before,
Mhm.
before Mark and Oliver went off to space that, Eve was pregnant,
Yeah. Yeah.
and, she terminated that pregnancy. She
Yeah.
got an abortion, during the Viltrumite War, and I think it's, like, one of the best written and performed scenes from both, Gillian Jacobs and Steven Yeun, because Mark is, like, I think a peak, like, positive male character because he doesn't make
Mhm.
the situation about him.
No, not
His
at all.
entire apology is just, "I wasn't there for you."
Yeah. And then even later, he's like so like he's still like upset about it. He's like, I left you like for this. Like I should have been here for you.
Yeah,
And
a
he's
and, the the horrifying thing is that even if we find out where the Viltrumites are, I'll have to go off and fight them again.
Yeah, and like you said, I think Steven Yeun and Gillian Jacobs do like wonderful work. Like, if there's one thing about this show that's been so consistent is like the voice work and the writing. Like they deliver the dramatic beats and like with so much gravity that it just feels like the emotion is warranted.
Yeah, in
But I
yeah, in I think we talked about I think I talked about this with Shuby when the premiere dropped. Is
mhm,
that is that the that often with animated shows and with superhero stuff, the spectacle takes the front seat versus like the writing. And with
mhm,
Invincible, I love that it's the opposite. It's the writing and the character building that is the focus of this. And
mhm.
without that, the battles, the fights, the stakes, none of that has the same weight without caring about characters.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think like totally sell it perfectly in this finale. Like, it's all emotion, it's all like you said, like debriefing, coming down from the intensity and like energy of the war and just kind of coming back to ground, like to see what these characters are really feeling. And I think that moment with Mark and Eve is a standout.
Yeah, and something that doesn't happen in the comics is Mark asks Cecil for help. He
Mm,
called back
mhm,
to yeah, it's like Cecil said that yeah, there were, professionals that he could talk to. And I think it's super rare and super uplifting to see a character like
mhm.
Mark who has gone through it
Yeah,
break down and ask for help.
yeah.
And
Very
speaking as
awesome.
somebody who has been through that, the hardest thing to do is to admit that you need help.
Mhm. And I love that Mark. I mean, that's one thing about this show I think I've always loved since season one. Like, again, making Mark such like a strong, positive male figure. Like,
Mhm.
he's not above asking for help. Like, he may be a little too proud sometimes or a little
Yeah,
too worried, but like he does always go to his support system of
he is a
Debbie,
character.
Eve.
Yeah, he is a character who has pride, who embodies a lot of what I think embodies a lot of kind of like the idea of like traditional masculinity. He's super
Mhm.
strong, he's super hard-willed, he's like cares about his family, but he's
Yeah,
not above asking for help. He's not above confiding and being warm and tender.
agreed. And I think those moments are really what make his character his character. Um, but yeah, that moment with Eve and moment with Cecil were fantastic, and I love that Eve pushes him to go have his usual therapeutic flight at the end. He's like, you probably should do it even if you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like go for a flight, no destination, do it to clear your head, which yeah, going for a walk, getting outside, feeling the sun. And it's
exactly.
a great montage until
Until he sees
until
Thrag.
Thrag is there.
Oh,
He's
and it's
just
not a vision.
floating there menacingly.
Oh
Which
man,
I love that I
yeah,
love that we've had so many fake outs at this point. The editing in the show, it almost tricked me for a second.
yeah. I
Even
thought
though
for
I
a minute
know that
too.
this is a moment from the comics, that even the animation gets a little bit fuzzier. It's like Mark is having another episode, but
Mhm.
no, Thrag is there,
Yeah,
and he drops the biggest bomb on Mark in that the Viltrumites, they're already here.
yeah, and we're staying.
And
We're staying put.
yeah, we're staying. We are staying here to repopulate. And,
Mhm.
the whole reason that we sent Nolan to Earth was to find out if breeding with humans could make a strong Viltrumites.
Yeah, and he's like, "You're literally proof that it works, Mark. So we're gonna keep doing that."
Yeah,
Um,
and so much of I think the show is like about deconstructing heroism
mhm,
and deconstructing what it means to be a hero, what it means to do the right thing, and
yeah,
being put in a no-win situation because, of course, Mark, Thrag, and the Viltrumites, they have Mark and the planet by the balls. They could
yeah,
destroy Earth at any time.
yeah. And Thrag is like, "You either let us do this peacefully, we leave you alone, we won't hurt, we won't aid Earth. But also, if you do mess with us, then we'll do it the hard way. We'll
Mhm.
enslave this planet." And like probably one of my favorite lines from Thrag is him being at the end being like, you don't have a choice, but yet you must make one. It's like, man, just
Yeah,
such a
and
good villain.
in that like little line, I think is like beat for beat from the comic is like ironic that you destroyed our home planet, but yet you might be the savior of our race.
Mhm. Man, just so
And
good.
we get a montage of the various Viltrumites we see just hiding out among humans. We see Lucan, who's looking very much like Steve Harvey.
Yep, in the suit. They know what they're doing at this
Yeah,
point. Put him on.
we see Anissa getting catcalled by dudes in the park, and we see General Krieg, who in the I'm guessing a week since he's been on Earth, he's discovered blue jeans, cigarettes, and motorcycle, and he's got a baddie on his
That's
arm.
it. He's staying. He's staying for good
He's
now, man.
folded.
That's all you needed to show Viltrumites: jeans, cigarettes, motorcycles. Come on.
And some good old Earth hussy.
Perfect.
But
But yeah, like
yeah,
that
it's
ending is just
it's
terrifying.
it. I feel a lot of what I'm seeing online is people talking about this episode and how low key it is. Is like we just
Mhm.
got the big space battles, and this is how you're ending the season. But
Yeah.
this is like a game changer for the show.
Yeah.
This is potentially game changing for the story that they're telling.
Mhm. I agree.
Especially
Like,
with the post credit scene of Alan. He's taken over as a leader of the coalition of planets, and he gets Thaddeus's last message to him, telling him about this new and improved scourge virus, one that could bypass any built up immunity and could potentially kill anybody genetically similar to Viltrumites,
yeah.
i.e., humans.
Yeah, that's a crazy way to leave it off. And I think Invincible has always had solid season finales that like kind of
Hmm.
shift the status quo and like makes you wonder like moving forward how it's going to look. And I think this one is like the biggest, like you said.
Mhm.
Thrag leaving that bomb, and then of course the stuff with Alan and the Scourge virus just makes you so curious for where this show and the characters go with the tensions and
Mhm.
stakes so high now.
Yeah, yeah, this has been, I think, just off of the strength of this finale, this
Mhm.
has probably been my favorite season since the first. When I
Yeah.
first saw that, I didn't read the comic yet, so Invincible was like kind of fresh on my mind. I, got to experience it before comic Twitter spoiled it for me. And having read the comic now, it almost builds a new appreciation for what Kirkman and company have managed to do with the show.
I'm right there with you, dude. Like I think they hit their stride now. They know what show they're making. I think it gets better and better each season. Um, and like I don't know what's coming comic wise. Like I think I've stopped
Mhm.
before here, but
Yeah, and
it,
yeah, and if just for frame of reference, so yeah, here is the entire run of the comic. So
yeah.
all three companions on my shelf. So the show at this point is right about here. So right at the halfway point
Okay.
of the entire run of the comic.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's so crazy to think about. In the grand scheme of things.
4 seasons to get to the halfway point of the comic,
Yeah. So
which
yeah.
it's a great one. It's a great comic if you haven't read it. The show I think is an improvement, so I would recommend the show first, then go back and reading.
Okay, nice, nice. Um, but yeah, man, season finale off the charts. Probably one of my favorite finales of the show. Like you said, since season one.
Mhm.
Um, and like even like people complaining with it being a slower episode. I think like you need these kind of episodes after the
Mhm.
epic battles and bloody and guts and all that stuff. Like coming back down to earth and spending time with these characters, especially Mark's mental state, like
Yeah,
was just such good stuff for me.
the show has always excelled at character building, and especially with Mark seeing the aftermath of the Viltrumite War, which we didn't really get to see much of in the comic, and in
Yeah.
superhero media in general, and that's why I think both the comic and the show is kind of groundbreaking that we get a character like Mark that is, you know, is going through it mentally, is going through struggles. And, we'll see more of that in later seasons of the show.
Mhm. Very excited. What ringer he gets put through next, just to see he persevere.
And for my money, some of the best stuff in the Invincible comic comes after the halfway point that we are at now.
Okay, nice. My hype, consider me just even more hyped than before.
Yep. That was the season 4 finale of I'm
Yep.
so sad I'm so sad it took until the finale for me to like find
It's
a good clip.
okay. You'll have it all next season. Just think about that. You'll be able to use it for then.
Yep. But that was our stream, some great trailer breakdowns, some good TV reviews, breaking down Euphoria as well as some absolute peak television. I'm kind of sad we don't get Invincible Wednesdays anymore, but
Yeah,
you know what? Don't be sad it's over. Be happy that it happened.
exactly. Yeah. We still got the boys, still got Maul, still got these shows, I guess Euphoria. But of these other shows going on week to week.
But Brandon, where can the people find you?
Yes, you can find me on the letterbox at Brando Not Marlin. That's where I post most of my reviews. If I'm not on the Pineapple or the Afternoon Tune, that's where you find me.
All right. You can find me on all of the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, Letterboxd at Night and Day Nick. You can find me on the other channel, the Afternoon Tune, streaming usually once or twice a week. Our next show is going to be on the 30th with our co-host Daphne Neal. We're going to be talking about the 1980s Masters of the Universe film in celebration of
Oh, nice.
the upcoming Masters of the Universe, as well as reviewing season 2 of The Pit.
Nice, nice. I still need to get on season 2 of the Pit.
Yep. Next TV stream on my channel, we're gonna be bringing us more episode breakdowns for The Boys, Maul, Invincible, Euphoria, as well as we might as well rip that Band-Aid off season 2 of The Pit of not The
Yeah.
Pit of Beef.
Oh, the beef.
Yep. You don't want no beef, but thank you so much for joining us, and we are outie. Take care, people.